Kiss Mommy goodnight.
This podcast contains opinions and discussions for entertainment and general information. The views expressed are personal and not meant as expert advice. Please consult a professional for specific concerns. Listener discretion is advised. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Kiss Mommy Goodnight. KMG, we're really happy to be back. Thank you for bearing with us. I felt like a broken record for a couple months. It's been a couple months, maybe a little bit more than a couple months that we haven't been able to film. A lot of shit going on, and I appreciate you guys, bearing with us. For anybody who's still watching or any new followers or fans that we're gonna be getting, welcome, hello, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I got a lot of shit to say. I got my new set colors like I promised, but I want to shout out to my biggest fan, who this is all courtesy of my biggest fan. I love it so much, so thank you again. My outfit, my set, all that shit. So I love it. I love the purple. I feel a little bit more in my element. And yeah, it's been a lot of shit going on. Honestly, why it's been so long. It's been a couple months of overwhelming, overstimulating shit, which leads me into what I want to talk about a little bit today is being burnt out, like pouring from an empty cup. And unfortunately the podcast was something that we had to put on hold because we don't want to do it. I don't want to do it half-assed. When I say we, I'm talking about me and my manager and my film director, the cameraman, and everything else behind the set. So yeah, we didn't want to do it half-assed. So I figured I'd rather put it on hold for a little while so we could come back, stronger, instead of doing that shit and my mind's in a different place or the set is not up to par, and so we're back, and I like to say we're gonna be better this time around. I learned a lot. I learned my in betweens of being over prepared, not enough prepared, and yeah. So yeah, right now at this point in my life, I'm recovering a little bit from feeling burnt out, as a single mother, as a widow, um, as a woman in general. And I'm not just saying those are the only people holding those titles are the only people that feel burnt out, but those are my titles, and those are the titles that have gotten me to where I'm at right now. And I feel like my cup is empty, and I'm trying to refill my cup. I'm trying to get back up there, and a couple things that when motherhood is 24/7. It's like there's no breaks, there's no time off, there's no sick days, there's no mental health days. There's none of those things, and it's hard. It's really, really, really fucking hard sometimes to juggle everything and still be a mother, and not just any mother. You don't want to be just bare minimum. Bare minimum. You want to give your kids more than just that. So that's something I've been juggling right now. Uh, Trying to make sure that I have enough patience to treat my children with the type of respect that they deserve, and to be the loving mother, compassionate mother that they deserve, while also prioritizing their mental and physical health. That's something that's very important to me. Not just being a mother, but making sure that my children are having an upbringing that reflects everything me and my husband that we spoke about. We want them to be strong physically and mentally. And so that's something I try to focus on. And not only them, but myself. I want to be strong physically and mentally for my children, because not only do I want to provide that for them, but I have to be that example to them, because what they say, kids don't do as you say, they do as you do. So that's something that I try to live by. I try to not just teach my children that, but I try to practice that as well. And it's a lot of unhealed trauma. I got a lot of unhealed trauma, unfortunately. I think I check off every box in the trauma list, and it's catching up. It's catching up. I'm in my 30s, very early 30s. Okay, but I'm still in my 30s, and a bitch is tired, to say the least. I'm tired, and but I'm blessed at the same time. My children are the biggest blessing in my life. So, it's a lot lately, feeling unaccomplished. A lot of sacrifices that I've made for my children and for my family. And when I think of sacrifices, the main thing I think of is my two different careers that I've sacrificed for my children. And this was never my plan to be where I'm at right now in my life. Obviously, things go how the fuck they go, and we got to go with the flow. But yeah, yeah, juggling grief on top of all of that, on top of trying to raise my children to be good people, on top of me trying to be a good person, and all that fucking bullshit. I'm still juggling my grief and some, which is not really something I've ever been able to actually feel or feel, because it's hard to break down when you got two little cute ass faces watching you, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm sure y'all know. Maybe you don't have the exact same situation as me, but everybody has something that they're juggling, and it's a lot. And so reflecting back on my life, I'm gonna do like a quick synopsis. Um, is my first career that I had to sacrifice. My first career was being a bridge painter, and that's something that wasn't just like a whim that I went on. I went to trade school, and I waited outside 6 days in a tent, sleeping outside union halls to fill out applications. Like, I really went hard to become a construction worker, female construction worker, and to be good at my job. And I was in the union for 3-4 years, working really fucking hard, working really hard. And anybody will tell you, and I'm not just making this shit up. I worked hard as fuck. Like, that shit was really blood, sweat, and tears. I was not a flagger. I'm not, no offense to flaggers, but I wasn't flagging. I was climbing bridges with buckets of zinc, and I'm fucking mixing sets of paint, 50 sets of paint. Like, I was working hard as fuck. And I would say unfortunately, but also not unfortunately, when I had my first child, it was something that kind of got pushed to the side. I went back after my child was born, and eventually something my husband sat me down and spoke to me about, and he was like, I just don't think that this suits our family right now, you being a bridge painter, because he wanted me, and it's not that I didn't want it, but it was never something that I thought about. He wanted me to be a mother and a homemaker, and I still wanted to have a career. Like, I wanted to have a career, and I love to work hard, and I love to earn my own money. And I had to find a way to do that, and there was no way to do that with being a bridge painter. So it came to the point where I had to give up bridge painting, and I did. I gave up bridge painting for my family, for my children, my child. There was only one child at that point, one child and a husband, and I gave up bridge painting. And immediately after I gave up bridge painting, I spent days and weeks researching, and you know I did some of those tests. What's some tests you take in high school to find out what job you should be in? I can't think of the name, but those fucking tests. I did a couple of those things. I did research, and I landed on becoming a dental hygienist, and that was my second career choice. And I was really excited. I after researching and finding out what I wanted to do, I immediately became a dental assistant to get my foot in the field and seeing if I really do like it, and if I'm cool working in people's mouths and shit. And I did. I love that shit. And it was kind of like a mini version of construction. You got little power tools that you're working with, and you get to see your results. With construction, you do something, you see results. It's immediate satisfaction, and it's the same with dental hygiene. And so that was something that I started to set out to do, as it's flexible, and I loved it. I started working as a dental assistant. I did that for a couple of years, and then I said, okay, it's time to go to school now. And my husband was like, okay, you go to school, and you be a homemaker, and you don't have to worry about nothing else. I'll take care of the finances and all that stuff. And that's what I did. And I went to school, and it was great, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to fast forward a little bit. And then my husband passed away. So I had to choose between having my children, because I know at this point it's two children. I had to choose between my children being raised by somebody else for 2 years for me to finish school, or me putting my second career choice aside to fully indulge myself in raising my children on my own. And I chose the latter. I think that's how you use that phrase. I chose the latter. I chose to be a mom, and not just because that's what I thought my husband wanted, but it is what I knew my husband wanted, whatever he told anybody else. You know, he wanted me to be a stay-at-home mother, and so I chose to find a way to do that, and I'm doing it, and I love it. I love my kids; they're amazing, but I do think about it often. You know, the butterfly effect of what happened if I didn't do this, or what happened if I chose to finish school after my husband passed away and do my 18-month fast track program. I would have been a dental hygienist right now, and I would have been in a career and being a mother and juggling all those things. And I'm sure I would have been able to do it, but I'm satisfied with where I'm at. I don't have any regrets. But just because you don't have regrets, don't mean that you don't think about things. You know, think about how things could have been differently. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So giving up my second career and immediately having to jump into being a single mother and grieving all the fucking time, because grief is 24/7 thing. You know, and juggling all that shit is not easy, and it makes you feel exhausted all the time. Like you could get a full night's sleep and wake up and you're exhausted. Like you just exhausted, and that's how I feel. That's how I've been feeling for years. And it's when my husband passed away, you would think, okay, now I got 2 times the work, but I feel like I got 100 times the work, 100 times more work after my husband passed away. You know, because I don't want to say I'm the mother and the father, because I think that's crazy. I can never be a father to my children. I can never teach my son how to be a man, you know. But I did have to step up my mom shit a little bit. I did have to step up my mom shit, and I did have to build my own little community, and I had to really find the people that I stick to. And my manager, he's not just my manager, he's also my children's uncle. He's one of the people, you know. I have a couple other people, but that are really important in my life that kind of helped me fill the spaces a little bit in my children's life. So, you know, that's one thing. Finding your own community. That's a little piece of advice real quick is that I feel like everybody needs to know as a parent, as a human, whatever, adult, whatever. You have to find your own little village, you know, whether it's your family, you know, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, and sometimes for some people, I'm one of those people, it's not any of those people. The people that you would think it would be. You know, you would think you could rely on your sister, on your mother, on your father, and sometimes those are the people that fucking set you back the most by even giving them the time of day. Those are people that set you back. So you have to find your community and your village and the people that reciprocate some type of love and respect that you give to them, you know? And not everybody can give to you what you give to them. You know, everybody has different lives, everybody has different schedules, but you know, people reciprocate and they show you what they can do for you. And that's something that I had to really, really find and be able to ask for help. And that's something that was really hard for me to be able to ask for help and reach out to people when I need them. I'm learning every day. It's not easy, but that's one of the biggest things I feel like that saved me. It's finding my own little village. On top of that, um, trying to manage my mental health. That's something really important. I want to say, as a parent, I think putting your own mental and physical health is even, how do I say this? Putting your mental and physical health first is more important than your children at some point, because you can't be a quality parent if you're fucking falling apart every step of the way. If you're falling apart, if you have poor, even something as simple as poor eating habits, poor sleeping habits, you know, poor drinking habits, if you have poor habits in general, if you have poor mental health, you can't be a quality parent. And it's not just about being a fucking parent or existing around your children. Like you gotta be good. You have to be good. Your children deserve the best of you, and so in order for them to have the best of you, you have to be your fucking best. Excuse my French. I feel like I'm cursing a lot. You gotta be your best. So that's something that I struggle with daily. Trying to prioritize my mental health and my physical health and be a good example to my kids and shit like that, and the balance. There was a long time where I lost myself, and I lost a lot of balance that I had before my husband passed, and I had to learn how to regain healthy habits for my kids. You know, simple thing as like good sleep habits, you know, mealtime, eating at certain times, and just have them eating all times of the day and just snacking and nothing is in order, and cleaning and organizing your mind, your toys, your clothes, your stuff. Like, these are all things that I had to relearn how to do after like I lost myself for a long time. So that's a small win. And that's another thing, another little random piece of advice is we have to celebrate our little small victories that we have. Um, that's a small victory, regaining something. Even if you had it before, you lost it, and now you're doing it again, and you feel like, oh, how's that a victory? I was already doing that before. It is a victory because you lost it and you had to rebuild that shit back up. So that's a small victory, and celebrating myself and my small victories has helped me to start to feel accomplished again. And everybody likes to be reassured, even if it's by yourself. Everybody likes to be reassured that you're doing something right. You're doing good things. You're making shit happen. Excuse me. You're doing good things. You're making shit happen, and you're winning. Whether it's just whether it's one little small thing a week, one little small thing a month. If you're getting it done, you're doing good. If you're getting things done for yourself and you're getting things done for your kids, and you're trying to be healthier every day. And when I say healthier, I don't mean like, yo, I fucking ate broccoli today. I mean healthier. Like, I'm trying to be a better person every single day. I'm trying to find what's the next step for me to be a better person, for me to be the best version of myself. And I feel like one of my biggest tells that I'm doing okay is my children. They are happy, healthy, well-adjusted children. And of course there's something missing. There's always gonna be a missing piece. But they're good, man. And that's how I know I'm doing something right. And that's something I had to learn to pat myself on the back and say, you know what? That shit may be hard. Maybe you yelled at them a little bit too much today. You gotta work on your patience, and you gotta work on your bedtime routines, and you gotta work on the schoolwork, and you gotta work on, the TV time and shit. But your kids are happy, they're healthy, they have manners, they know how to take care of themselves slightly, obviously at the age appropriate stuff, and it's good. It's a good reward. And a couple things that I feel like people should take from that little synopsis of what I've been going through and what I've been, trying to do is um when you're forming healthy habits, or you're trying to form healthy habits for yourself or your children, and you don't have any motivation, because just because you want something doesn't mean that you're necessarily motivated or you have the drive to do it. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline. So even the days that you wake up and you don't want to fucking do it, and you don't have the energy to do it, you still have to do it. You still have to do it. It's okay to take breaks, it's okay to take time off, but you still got to do it. You got to get up and do it, and that's how you form discipline. It takes like 6 weeks for somebody to for something to become a habit for somebody. So in that 6 weeks, you gotta have discipline. Wake up and do it. Whether it's something as simple as, yo, I want to exercise every day because I want to be healthier for my children, so I can be more physically able to tend to their needs and play with them and teach them things. You gotta do it. When you're tired and you ate too much, that's your fault. Get the fuck up and still exercise. Whether it's I want to have more patience with my children. I want to stop yelling at them so much. I want to get down to their level and speak to them. You have to do it even in the moments when it's hard and your kid is making you want to rip your hair out of your head. You have to, as the adult who has the tools and the power to do so, you have to take that deep breath and do it. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. Like, you got to practice what you preach. You can't just tell people. And that was a problem I had to. Like, I feel like I was giving people all this great advice, and I wasn't necessarily practicing it as much as I should have been. And I had to learn to take a step back, take a deep breath. Am I doing what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing? Am I doing what I want to be doing? Am I doing the right thing? Get your little journal or your planner or shit and write down the shit that you feel like you need to do and stick to that shit. And the days that it's hardest is the days that count the most, because that's when it's the easiest to give up. And I don't want to sound like one of these like fucking gym motivators and shit. It's not about working out. It's not about none of this shit. This is like a very broad general statement for any single thing that you're trying to do in life. When it's hard, those are the days that it counts the most, because those are the days that build discipline. The days that you wake up and it's easy and you're like, oh, this is easy. I want to do this today. Those are easy days. Those are days you have motivation. The days you don't have motivation is the days that you build discipline. I feel like that makes sense. I hope everybody understands that. Another thing is small steps. Do things in small steps. When we get to a certain age, we be feeling, you reflect on your life, you're like, damn, I'm behind. I'm behind based off what I see around you, what you see around yourself, or what you plan for yourself. And comparison is the thief of joy. That's something that my brother-in-law likes to tell me. And I try to always keep that shit very close in my mind. Is stop, don't compare yourself to anybody else around you. Don't compare yourself to where you thought you were gonna be at in this age. Don't compare yourself to something you see in social media. Like, take small steps towards your goal every single day, and as long as you're moving forward, you getting somewhere. You getting somewhere on your own time, but you getting somewhere. Um, Another thing is, like I said before, creating a small village. Whether it be your fucking husband's best friends, whether it be a new person you just met a year and a half ago that shows up for you constantly. Whoever it is, if those people pour into you, you pour back into them, because those are your people. And I feel like I'm really starting to feel like I have found my people right now at this point in my life. And yeah, uh, you got to create your village, not just for your kids. They say it takes a village, right, to raise kids, but it also takes a village for an adult person to have some type of quality of life. Like, it takes a village. Everybody should have people around them that they can trust, that they can call at any moment. Within reason, of course. Again, everybody has their own lives, but it's good to have people that are there for you, that are there for your kids. So you got to find those people. You can't just expect it to be the people that it's supposed to be. It's not. I feel like for let's say 8 times out of 10, it's not gonna be those people. It's not gonna be those people. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be those people. And another little piece of advice, mommy knows best, is every single day you make the choice. You wake up. Do I want to be a piece of shit today? Do I want to be a fucking bum today? Do I want to lay in bed and cry and sulk and feel bad for myself? Or am I gonna choose to get the fuck up, and do something productive? Make your bed, do your laundry, clean your house, organize your closet, read a book to your kids, take a walk to the park. It's a choice every single day you have. Every single day you have that choice. So make the right choice every day. And yeah, that's what it is. That's my little excerpt, a synopsis of being burnt out and pouring from an empty cup and being overwhelmed, overstimulated. The reasons why, and trying to fucking find my way back. And I'm getting there. And I have a lot of new things y'all gonna see in the next couple of months. You're gonna see big differences. And I don't want to tell y'all. I don't want to tell y'all. But there's about to be some surprises in the next 3 to 4 months. There's a lot of things that I'm doing to get myself to that place of where I feel like I need to be for me first, because first I gotta be there for myself, or else I can't be there for nobody else. Second, my children, and third, the people around me that deserve the reciprocation. Like they given their time and energy to me. I want to be able to give it back to them. And yeah, yeah. So thank you for listening to that. Thank you for listening to me talk shit. And I hope you got a little bit from that. A little bit from that. Those little small things. And I hope everybody practices those things too. Everybody. I wish everybody peace. And you don't have to be a mother or a widow or a single parent to be burnt out or overwhelmed or overstimulated. Everybody gets there in life, and it's just about just pulling yourself back out from that shit and choosing every day to keep on going. So, thank you so much for listening. I really, really want y'all to continue to listen, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, we on everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon. That's for spicy shit. So just follow us, listen to us, comment, tell me what you want me to talk about. Tell me what you want me to stop talking about. Tell me what you want me to wear. Tell me whatever the fuck you want to tell me. We open to hearing all that shit. And thank you. I really appreciate everybody.
Father, get mommy. Good night.
It might get dark. I don't know.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So when you're doing certain shit, it's like me.
Yeah.
So I do go a little bit overboard.
That was my signature move.
I do. I be throwing shit off the balcony and stuff like that.
Action.
Hold up, that's why y'all stopped me from talking?
Yeah,
Go right
I'm
here.
sorry.
Just like that. It's like just like that. Oh, you whisper like you're low? Okay. But you're not into girls, right? That was the moment. That's why I say it was like 5 years into a relationship. That was the moment for the first time ever in my 5 years of being with that man that I realized that he was human just like me. Because when I say he looked at me and he knew that I had the fucking ability and the fucking motive.
Good night, sleep apnea, because motherfuckers be choking their city.
I grant permission.
Somebody get him something to write on.
Somebody get some water. I didn't even expect to be on here to the point of signing stuff.
That psycho bitch in the window. Megan, I love you. Please open the door.